Hello, nerds! I just got my hands on the Xbox Elite Series 2 controller. There are two purchasing options for this controller. One is this black one, which comes with a carrying case, all the paddles and additional sticks and whatnot, basically all the bells and whistles that you can get. The other option is the Elite Series 2 Core. Now that one doesn't come with any of the accessories, but you get to pick between white, red, and blue. So if you wanted one of those colors and not the black ones, you would buy the core and then buy all of the accessories separately. Alright, so this is the box that it comes in. On the front is just the controller. On this side, it tells you what's included in this box. On the back, a little bit more details about what the different attachments and accessories are for. And yep, on the other side is same thing, just what's included. All right, so let's open this up and take a look inside. Okay, first of all, I love when my gadgets come in these boxes that have the friction sliding, where the one on the bottom fits perfectly and the one on top is just so satisfying to open. Okay, so this is what it looks like when you first open it up. This is a very beautifully designed box. I will say I love when it's just nice and clean, just a black inlay with the case itself sitting in. Already, I like the fact that the attachments aren't sitting separately from the controller and case itself, which means that you don't need to get like a little box or something to carry everything else with you if you did want to bring them with you. All right, let's take this thing out. Okay, so looking at the case itself, very nice invisible zipper. Easy open, easy close. I like that. A nice, sleek Xbox logo. I like the fact that the print is black sitting on top of a black case. It really gives it this nice and chic look versus something that's like in your face. All right, so looking at the case, you have your zipper with a nice sturdy tab. It looks like there's a loop. So it looks like there's a loop that you can loop like a strap through. Or like a carabiner, which is not included, so you'll have to get your own for that. And I noticed that there's this really cool little flap here, which stays shut, so that's a plus. But if you open it up, it looks like this is where, yep, you can run a cord through the case itself and charge your controller while it's in the case, which is a really, really smart design. All right, so now let's open this up.
Hey. Yeah.
Okay, so looks like there is the controller itself, which is sitting on top. And then underneath are all of the accessories. Oof, this thing, just from looks itself, I don't know if you own any of the older controllers or the different models, this one definitely looks very different. I will say immediately, there's this matte rubbery texture where it's not this like plasticky feel to it. It just feels a lot more high end. On the sides, the grips are texturized. So that should feel really nice on the palm. Before I even take it out, I will tell you, this thing's pretty heavy. Definitely a lot heavier than my old controller, which we'll see if it's a good or bad thing. I feel like it'll be nice because I tend to have it like resting on my lap, but it could end up causing fatigue, so only time will tell. And if I take this out, it looks like underneath it there is a magnetic charging stand. It has this fancy little cover attached to it. I'm guessing you have to remove this, but it is nice to have it there, I guess, for storage purposes. I don't know. USB-C for both of these. Pretty straightforward. You can attach it to different surfaces. I will say I've tried these things before, and generally speaking, you are more likely to attach them to something like a metal gaming desk so that everything kind of stays put. I've tried vertical surfaces before. That generally doesn't work. I mean, I guess it depends on the controller, but my guess is you might not be able to mount it vertically and actually have to have it stay put. I'll test that out and include it at the end of the video. All right, so now looking at the rest of the case itself, the silicone piece that this sits in, it looks like everything that holds the different pieces together are built into the case itself, which is kind of nice. There's nothing floating around. Everything just attaches, and then everything sits pretty flush. So inside there are 4 additional joysticks. 2 of them look to be, 2 of them are the same height as the ones that come with the controller itself. They're just a different type of feel to it. So like versus the ones on here already that are texturized and slightly raised around the edges. These ones are flatter up top. The cover of the joysticks are flatter and smoother. And so if you want something that's like a little more rubberized, there's this one that looks to be sticking out. So it comes with one that's the same texture as the ones that are already on the controller, but it's longer. So this might be good if you're looking for a little bit more control. And there is a similar height rounded button. That might be interesting too. So let's see. All right. So on the left side here, you have an additional D-pad. The one that comes on the controller is this circular one. Now, it doesn't really change how the D-pad works itself. I think it's just a matter of preference on how you like to press the button, and whether you're looking to have that tactile feeling, or if you just want it to be like a quick muscle memory type of thing, where you don't have to be super precise. So the options are there. You're right here in the middle is your tension adjustment tool. Okay, so back to the box. I'm gonna take out this. It feels like there's something more in here. My guess is like instruction manuals, and hopefully the cord is in there. This doesn't really come out super easily, so it looks like if I turn it upside down and give it a nice shake, there it goes. All right, so underneath you have what looks to be, trying not to rip it. All right, so you have your manual, pretty straightforward, goes over all of the different pieces, what the indicators are for, how to plug it in and charge it, which hopefully everybody already knows how to do that. All right, yeah, different indicators, how to turn it on and off, how to connect it to different devices, installing and uninstalling the different pieces, the different accessories, joysticks, paddles, etc. And that looks to be it. It does tell you that you can download the Xbox Accessories app. I believe that allows you to adjust the sensitivity level of the controller. Don't quote me on that yet, but I will give that a shot and see if that's necessary or if the tension adjustment is enough on its own. All right. And then this one, just a whole lot of warnings, probably don't take a bath with it so you don't electrocute yourself. Putting that aside, there is a little case, and yep, that is where the cord is. Hey, kind of like that. Instead of having it in a box where you have to dig stuff out, it just opens up on both sides very easily with these little finger hole things, and you can basically it just comes right out. It looks like this is a pretty long wire, which I'm excited about, because what I hate is having something that I have to. This looks to be This looks like a pretty long wire, which I'm excited about. If you have as much crap as I do on my desk sometimes, it's pretty nice to be able to route it whichever direction you want and be able to wrap it around. And that way you can use whatever cord management thing that suits you and still be able to play comfortably and not have to worry about, routing in a specific way or like leaning forward because you can't yank it back and accidentally knock everything off your desk. So that's pretty much it for what's in the box. Now let's take a look at the controller real quick. All right, so this is the controller itself. Right off the bat, it is nice and hefty. Feels really nice in your hands. The rubber or silicone wrapping on the front definitely makes it feel a lot more premium than the plasticky countertop. The texturized grip feels fantastic in your hands. The trigger buttons are, I'm not sure if they're plastic or aluminum, but they kind of have this like shiny metallic sheen to it, which makes it look nice and fancy. It has 2 paddles on each side, and they're all easily removable, so you can, switch positions depending on your hand size, and I believe you can even that you like. So that's pretty cool too. You might even be able to, and I believe you can even switch positions, and you can use them on both sides and have them whichever direction that you like. So that's pretty cool. It has a trigger distance adjustment, and so standard is to be able to push it all the way in. But if you're playing shooter games, it's really nice to have that distance be a lot shorter. So it's a lot more responsive and drastically reduces the distance that you have to press to get the action going. Everything else is pretty much the same. I would say the biggest difference is the weight and obviously having the built-in paddles and the trigger adjustments. All the buttons feel great. The controller feels great in my hands. I did just connect it to my PC and load into a couple of games to kind of give this a little bit of a test drive. I'll definitely be making some adjustments to the tension itself and probably reposition the paddles a little bit. I love the ability to adjust the trigger buttons, and the weight actually feels pretty good. Instead of it feeling like super light and jerky, it's nice that it's like heavy, and so I just kind of have it sitting in my lap. And the other thing too is it kind of reduces the amount of inadvertent movements from when I'm trying to hit different buttons while I'm shooting. So that's pretty cool. So far, everything feels great. The magnetic stand does not attach vertically. The controller is just too heavy for it. Realistically, that's not a deal breaker. It's just something to keep in mind. I really wouldn't mind having it on my desk anyway. It looks super nice, super sleek, and so far the stick drift is not bad at all. On sale, I do play with no dead zone, so it does move just ever so slightly, but that's kind of what I want anyway. Aside from that, it is fantastic out of the box. It feels premium. Everything is very well designed so far, just from the packaging itself to the case to like all the attachments and the way everything is able to just be stored in the box. The texture grip just from the couple of games feel fantastic. There's definitely not like this like slipping action where I'm like trying to re-grip. You can kind of just like use light pressure and it'll stay pretty put. I'm holding it differently than I do my old controller. Just because of the weight and the texture itself. Of course, the paddles would have something to do with that too, but even when I took them off, I definitely hold it a little bit differently just due to the weight and the texture itself. It's currently on sale for the holiday season, so definitely pick one of these up for yourself or friend or family or something that loves to game and either plays on PC or Xbox. I don't know if it works with PS5. I'm guessing it does, but realistically, the PS5 controllers are pretty dope too. So I would probably just stick to those. But yeah, other than that, great controller so far. That's it for this video. I'm definitely going to be using this as my main driver for any shooter games. So down the road, I'm going to down the road, I'll do another video and see how this thing holds up over a lot of use and abuse. Keep an eye out for that. And later.